just wonder where did it come from, and then until you look that up, you are not sure. It's just there, and it's used by everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, Jonas.
Do you know where? Do you know where the "What's comes from?
No.
Maybe you don't remember it because it was like early 90s or something.
Well, I was like 7 or 8 years old then, so maybe I don't remember.
Yeah, but it was like all over the place on TV and whatnot. It was a beer commercial, I think, like Budweiser or something.
Okay. All right. I guess we had different memes, like we had our local ones as well, but...
yeah, everyone has.
Yeah, exactly. It would be hard to mention that, though, because some of them are language specific.
And Mikael Lund says Budweiser. Yeah.
I see. Well, at that point, I started to watch some international television, but rather German, because most of them were available through satellite. So we didn't have a cable yet, but we had the satellite kind of, the big thing, and you set it up on your terrace, and I remember those times when you had to turn it slightly, and we had to kind of mark it where to turn to take certain channels, and when you wanted to watch something else, you had to turn it like another direction.
Yeah.
Oh my, those were the times. And of course,
it's so much easier now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you get a notification on Facebook or YouTube. Oi, someone is live now.
Yeah.
Just tune in.
Advantages of the modern society, so to speak. I cannot really decide if they are advantages or disadvantages, to be honest.
They are both.
Yes.
It depends on how you use them.
Yeah.
But speaking of TV and whatnot, if you see this T-shirt, that actually Ziona bought me a while back, in honor of the season start of Rick and Morty. It started on Sunday, I think. So yeah, that's going now. It's very nice. It's fun.
One of those extremely creative cartoons. If some of you don't know, but I'm pretty sure that most of you know it. I sort of had to catch up with some of those things when we moved together, because I sort of had to get used to it, that he knows everything, all the series that was going on, and has a little bit of science fiction or fantasy connection, especially. However, I prefer science fiction over fantasy, but I like fantasy too. Yeah, but that all depends on taste.
Yeah,
both of them are great.
The Harry Potter stuff is okay, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I love Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's fantasy.
I know.
Not very much science fiction.
Yeah, but you know what's the weird thing? That I think Star Wars is space fantasy. It's not science fiction. However, people describe it as science fiction. And I think it's weird. Because it is fantasy. It's an own world created.
Yeah, sure. But it's got spaceships and lasers and whatnot.
So once you get spaceships, that's science.
That's science. Spaceships and laser swords and whatnot, that's science.
I think that's extremely confusing, to be honest. Only because lasers and spaceships, it becomes a science fiction.
Well, it's fiction and it's got science. But
Only
it's
because
more
it has
like a space drama.
Well, drama. Yeah, okay, it has dramatic parts as well, but I think it's like...
No, not dramatic parts. Drama and dramatic are two different things. A drama is like a soap opera. That's a drama in a sort of way.
Well, then you want to say that Star Wars is a space soap opera.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, you're right. Like, I'm your father, definitely.
Yes, and you're so hot. Let me kissy you. Oh, hello, sister. What? Not a drama? Come on.
Well, okay. Definitely, it has some dramatic aspects, I have to say. Jesus Christ, I never considered those things. I just feel way more enlightened now because of you. Anyway. What Hege?
I'm not sure enlightened is the right word. Ruined, maybe?
Yeah, well, I'm already ruined for a while. What Hege had a request.
Riggedy wrecked.
Yeah. What Hege wants to hear Fire Lord Symphonic, a Nod to Glyn by Peter Clark. Because it's stuck in my head all day. Well,
Yeah, let's pull it out.
Yeah, your head chose a good song to stuck in your head.
Really?
Never mind. Don't laugh. Stop it. Lovely, lovely tune.
Indeedums. Very,
Yep.
very lovely. Lovely.
Yep, absolutely perfect. So thank you, Bottega, for requesting this. And I realized that now the speakers are so loud that they can essentially come back to the microphone as well. Isn't it a problem?
No.
Okay. Well,
they can't because we have a noise gate. They are not that loud. I think. Let's see. Speak.
What about?
I don't know.
How
something.
do you do? Something? Anything?
No, it's fine. The
Okay.
noise gate is fine.
That is excellent to hear. Well, and Boz Wang just joined again to IRC, and then he said himself, "Hi, Boz Wang, you can't." So, well, hi, Boz Wang, you schizophrenic. Split personality Kane asks Cowbell. It's not that we have anything against that, so it's fine. You carry on. It's okay.
I can't get on IRC right now. I know my IRC client is on there and everything, but for some reason the host I'm running it on cannot accept SSH connections.
Oh.
So there seems to be something off somewhere.
That's sad.
I have console access and all that shit, but yeah, whatever. So, yeah.
That's not that nice to hear. And yes, we are watching Firefly at the moment. Well, whenever we have time. That sounds like we are watching it all the time. Not quiet, I would say. But we started to watch it because I think at one point, like years ago, I started to watch it, but then we stopped. And then it got left there because I wasn't really sure how much I'm into the space cowboy concept. It was kind of okay, but yeah, somehow it got like lost in space. And now it's a kind of different thing to watch it because I saw Castle before. And yeah.
See, young Castle as a space cowboy is kind of fun.
Yeah, especially that he plays a different role in Castle, and I think he really grew into that role by time. And I don't know his real personality, but it kind of feels natural for him to be Castle. And this,
I think that was closer to him as a person than
the captain.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I think so.
Yeah, but it's still fun, and now it feels a bit different to watch it, like after this experience. But it's like always when you kind of start to like an actor because of his role, then it's always different to watch him later on any other role. So
yeah, it's like rewatching some old movie that you've already seen, like 10 years later or something, and then realize that, oh, look at that person there behind everyone else. That's that person who's now very famous or whatever.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, extremely. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I can recommend that series. I think most of you are into science fiction anyway, so it wouldn't hurt. Science fiction, that's also sort of space fantasy, but yeah.
Yeah, but it has science in there in a sort
because
of way.
Because it has a spaceship, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
right.
Some sort of rail guns or whatever they are shooting at each other. And it's fiction. So, yeah.
Well, here is the deal.
Science fantasy is more like, I don't know, magic or something, rather than based in science. And like the things that potentially could become science. Harry Potter cannot become science because magic spells are not real and will never be real.
Yes, but the guys talked on the channel exactly about that. Like Star Wars uses somewhat the spirituality and the power of that to they can move objects with their
That is
force,
very true.
right? So it's in that extent, if we follow your logic, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, that is very true.
But
they do try to kind of ground it in a sort of, I don't know, in the physical world, in a sense, in Star Wars, with mitochondria and the force or whatever in there. So it's kind of a physical force.
Yeah, kind of.
It's not like you can learn a spell and then it just works magically.
Well, in that terms, it's different. Yeah,
there is a slight difference in that way.
Okay, I can accept that. Just wanted to add that Matrix also has ships that are almost like spaceships, and this doesn't make it science fiction. There are other things that make it science fiction, which I absolutely love. So yeah, that's what I can add. How about playing some music?
I think that is a great idea.
That is a good idea. So Nickenstein Mac Tvettibans. Nickenstein Mac Tvettibans wants to hear Alley Cat by Romeo Knight. And Romeo Knight is always good.
Always.
Yep.
Guitar wank.
like you know it by heart, right?
Heard it a couple of times, maybe.
A couple of thousand times, maybe.
Maybe so.
I guess. So thank you, Nickenstein, for this. Yeah, and people try to figure this thing out, like the science part is believable, spaceships with proper propulsion, balance, and most of which explainable with today's technology, which is a good definition from Edward, by the way. I think so, at least. That might count as science part, but a random spaceship is still fantasy. Come on.
A random spaceship?
Yes, a random spaceship with a random setup that could not work science-wise is still fantasy.
Yeah, kind of depends on how deeply you explain how the thing works. Most of these sci-fi things have dealt with gravity as a force, so they are countering that. And what you then need is some sort of propellant. And if you have countered the effects of gravity, you most likely can go to light speed. So those are loosely kind of based on some sort of potential future science stuff. Like, for instance, there's this idea of the Alcubierre drive, which essentially wraps space-time around it. So it compresses the space in front of it and expands it behind it. So the ship itself doesn't actually move. It moves or compresses the space around it to move the ship.
I like this concept.
Yeah, and it's actually theoretically possible to do if you go by the laws of physics. So yeah, it is possible, but you just need a shit bunch of energy to do it, like the amount of energy a star kind of outputs. Oh, no, actually, it's more than that. But Anyway,
I think at one point you should have some discussions with all those 3D artists that model those spaceships, and they can give you like detailed reasoning why those spaceships look like. I know
one.
Ooh.
Mark Hennessy Barrett. He does a lot of 3D stuff for movies and TV series and whatnot. Then. And one of his passions is science and modeling spacecraft.
Oh, look at that. Then you have the right guy for this task.
I certainly do.
Well. So you can learn a lot. You are really diving into this 3D thing. Right now it's like 1 year and you can do pretty amazing stuff, I would say.
I'm kind of learning a few new tricks now. I want to do motion tracking, which seems like a very fun thing to do. So essentially you do you take a regular movie and you track the movements of those camera positions and whatnot, and place 3D objects in that footage. Basically.
Yeah, that seemed like a really interesting thing to do. The only thing... Sorry?
Yeah, just saying that I think that's the next thing I want to learn, and after that there's going to be some particle physics involved that needs to be fixed, because doing spaceships, for instance, is really hard unless you actually know some particle physics to interact with the different systems and whatnot. So,
but why exactly you need particles for that? Because if I remember correctly, they were needed mostly for smoke and fire and such entities.
Yes, and if you have a spaceship, what do you usually see on the backside of the spaceship?
Well, there are some gases going on, I guess. So for that, but I guess there are several other parts of the spaceship that meanwhile you can just check before the particles.
But even for that, these volumetric stuff is particles in a sense as well. As in, if you look at a distance in real life, you do not see clearly all the way, and that is because of volumetric kind of stuff. You have stuff in the air, and those are particles. So the way those particles move and interact with the environment is kind of crucial. Mist, for instance, are water molecules that hover in the air. They are lighter than rain, so they kind of just hover in the air.
Okay. Yeah, well, I didn't think of that, definitely, but once I applied for a job to a game company, and at that point, well, I was still a web designer and I didn't really get into 3D, mostly because lack of time. But I did some trial job that they were asking for with a tool that was relatively easy to learn. And well, finally, I didn't get called for an interview because they wanted me to texture the particles, and the tool did not have this opportunity. So I could make the particles, but I could not texture them, and I wasn't really sure about the requirements either when I sent in the work. But it definitely seems like a fun job.
Yeah.
So
it is.
It's I can understand why some people are excited about it. It's just extremely time consuming. I mean, learning 3D stuff is, everyone says it's at least half year, the basics, and then it takes like a year when you get to a level where you can actually do things. Or
yeah, like the first few weeks, I managed to render a Slay Radio logo, which was basically a black and white picture of the Slay Radio logo, which looked horrible, by the way. But yeah, that was like the first day or two, I think it was. And then by the end of the week, I actually had a 3-dimensional thing. But yeah, Rafi Bidorf on Facebook says that you'd need a tiny black hole contained in your FTL drive. And yeah, sure, the tiny black hole would probably not need to be very big, like the mass of a sun, probably slightly bigger than our sun, but still, you still need to kind of bend space and time around it. Yeah.
I'm just sorry. Boswang's intersection. Blah blah blah. Nerds kisses you now. Cute little elven forehead. Okay, we get it. We will play a song. So CJ Warlock had a request, and then you can guess what kind of request is coming up, because CJ Warlock requested it. So obviously it wouldn't be slow. That's one giveaway. Tyrannoid versus Michael Strongstream and Speedball.
A good one.
finishing the song. That's very nice of you. Everyone is very happy about it, I guess.
Yeah. No.
Till a certain extent, no, not really. But yeah, we heard a Speed voice request. Well, maybe he won't understand my Eurobeat reference. Yeah, exactly. It's like
it is. If you've never heard of Eurobeat, that's the song. It's all of them.
No, it started with Running in the 90s with me. If you look for the song Running in the 90s, yeah, this was my
in the 90s.
very first Eurobeat song. Yes.
I thought in the 90s was like when you heard it.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's part of the title, because I have an album in that shelf by Danko called Running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, that's
I think
not
actually you would like it. It's one of those.
Well, everything that Danko does, I usually like, so I think I would like it. Yeah. Definitely.
It's one of those high tempo. I thought I knew exactly where it was, but
high tempo is not the only requirement here.
No.
But
here you go.
Oh,
you can show that to the camera.
Aha! Keep on running. So it's not only running; it's keep on running.
Oh wait! Oh yeah.
Yeah. If we are backwards, then they won't see it. But keep on running. Yeah. And it was released when exactly? That's 2007. So it's like, featuring Agape. Keep on running. Okay, nice, very nice. I have to say. So, everything Danko does is usually according to my taste as well, but there are some authors like that. And Eurobeat is a very special genre, and it's it all started with one song, and it was called Running in the 90s by Max Cavalry, I think around 2007 when I first found on YouTube that song. And then, well, nowadays people talk about it like that was a new wave of Eurobeat fans joining the scene, because YouTube was kind of starting to skyrocket, and then everyone started to upload their para videos, which is, it might be weird for you if you see them first, but it's basically very arms-oriented dance, because... So
it's like the kung fu of dancing.
Sort of. And of course... and mostly made by Japanese, and of course Japanese people figured it out, not figured it out, founded... Well, how do you say this?
Started it,
yeah. So definitely it's still a thing in Japan, and all the other fans...
Thing in Japan.
Exactly.
All right. Thing in Japan.
And there are a lot of songs related to Japan because of that in Eurobeat genre as well. And all the other fans that are not living in Japan, they do usually worldwide trips, like they did it, like they came here to Stockholm from the US and from all around the world when there was a party going on. So yeah, this is what we visited in August. And Slaygon survived it, fortunately.
Barely.
And I really had a great time, I should say. So I was just hoping for him to survive it, but he did.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to watch this Asian woman who was there.
Oh, Japanese. She was Japanese.
Yeah, that's Asian. And she was, the way she danced this para thing is, it was different from how everyone else did it. Like I was watching her from like a distance, and it more looked like a kata you would do in like karate or something than a dance, but quicker and less precise, granted, because of the speed, but still very precise. And it was fascinating to watch, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. She had the right moves, so to speak. And everyone knew by heart the choreographies. it's an interesting thing because it could be a community involvement as well. If I would have people around here, probably I would start to learn choreographies of this because I really would enjoy to dance to these songs.
You do know how those communities form, right? You start to do that, and then people join you.
Yeah,
then you created the community.
Well,
yay!
Yeah, I know you are talking right now who created a community. I'm not sure at the moment if I have the time and the resources, to be honest, to do that. But so there are some people, especially in the Netherlands, when I visited Amsterdam for this 24 hours, then I noticed that there are some local groups there who they lived close to each other, and they had an opportunity to kind of team up sometimes and learn choreographies together. On my own, it might be something really time consuming, especially to know all those songs by heart, but I really, really enjoy the music, and I probably will keep joining those events when they happen around, and maybe at one point in Japan as well. Maybe. Yes, let's hope so. Anywho, as you would say, let's check what we have.
That's what Boz would say, and then I stole it from him.
Oh, you stole it. Okay. Oh, you horrible, horrible person. So,
no, it's a kind of a loving steal. It's a good phrase.
Yeah, I know. Funky Data wants to hear Funk Reflex and Thundercats without Fear remix.
That's a good one.
Are you trying to do some sort of dance to this?
Yeah, I was doing a head dance on the overview camera. If you have your video over there somewhere, you would see it shortly.
I definitely have my video over there.
Then you will see it on the stream shortly. I was doing like this pigeon dance, I guess, is the best description of that.
Well, that works, I guess.
Don't ask me why, but it just felt like it was the right move. I kind of regret doing that now, but
trying to compete with Para Para.
Yeah. So going cuckoo instead.
Michael Wildhagen wants to know, well, how does the movie continue where you are driving the car? It cannot end like this. He said, well, ask Jonas, because, he still, I think he's working a lot and maybe he didn't have time to finish this passion project or, well, whatever it was preparing for. But I supposed to go back to the garage after a wild night of driving with this love of mine, which is the car, and then just go back and have a lovely petting of my car, and that's it. That is how it's supposed to end.
Yeah, and the video is now playing on the stream.
Again, Jesus, yeah. I don't know. It's like you really, really have to play it. Firefox versus Romeo Knight. And yes, the bot is still broken. We are so sorry. But that means that you have to take your requests through slayradio.org.
Or the new domain, slay.radio.
Oh, you should tell the story about this, because we just gained it recently.
Yeah, I registered it like a week ago or something. They are fairly expensive, those .radio domains, but recently apparently they started this kind of non-commercial or non-profit kind of thing. So got the domain for like a tenth of the price. So I thought, yeah, let's register that.
Excellent choice, I think. And Martin, if you see us right now on the video stream, you were mentioning disco balls. So here are my 2 disco balls, just so you know. I just recently bought it as well, and well, specifically for a party, a company party that is coming up. Will happen like slightly before Christmas. It's going to be a Christmas party, but let's say we are not only celebrating Christmas, so we always figure out a concept. Like the summer party was the 80s concept, and now it will be Studio 54, 70s disco. And let's just say that outfit would look so great that I probably have to post a picture about it. So yeah, I already have the things ready, including my 2 disco balls. You can never have enough disco balls. But I can definitely say I have balls. Disco balls.
Yes.
2 of them.
You can definitely say that.
Yes. Hopefully you can't say that to on me at least. And hi Shetil, nice to see you. Hi Murdoch, nice to have you around as well. So yep, so since the bot is still broken, we would like to remind you to request songs if you can on the homepage, or well, you can go through Facebook as well, but we never know if all our comments arrive to us. So.
Yeah, please don't. Go to slayradio.org. It's really that simple. You don't need to log in or anything. You just go to slayradio.org under live, make requests. It would make our life a lot easier.
Indeedums. So Martin had an amazing request just slightly after the previous song, because he said that he wants to hear, I want to quote him like literally, you have to scroll back here, where was that moment, that new Cream of the Earth Seed version with awesome samples using the THCM routine. And yeah, that one is made by Elman, released in 2018. So, well, you can guess the quality of the seed at least. Elman and Cream of the Earth. So that was kind of interesting to hear right after each other, the Amiga remix and the SID.
Indeed. It's almost like you could have played them the other way around and nobody would notice.
Almost. That's Elman's specialty nowadays.
Yes.
The almost thing.
Sounding awesome. I almost creamed my pants.
Oh. Please don't, at least not during the show.
Well, nobody would see.
Well, you did this radio video thing, so yes, they would.
No, it's below the waistline, or the camera is above the waistline. It's fine.
Oh, how tricky you are. And we have also an overview now.
Yeah, but that's not on right now.
Oh, it's not on today. Okay.
Well, it is. Well, it's not pointing at us right now. It is, though, because I just switched it on.
I see. Okay, then.
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook told me that I should... What? Oh, did you?
Yes.
At least when Jonas comes here, then he won't complain.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason.
Facebook said, meanwhile, that I should say something to let Slay Radio know that I'm here.
Oh, yeah, you should, because otherwise, how would Slay Radio know?
That I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. So it's kind of still funny. Maybe they could switch this off, at least for the administrators of the page. Never mind. Well,
it's stupid and random.
Very random.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yay.
Random facts from the world out there. There was an article fairly recently about yoga causing entering demons to your life. I mean, this statement was made by a religious leader, and
no shit.
Yeah, and the religious leader, that is not the worst part. That religious leader is supported, or, well, his kind of organization is supported by our government. I mean, yeah, the Hungarian one. And I just don't get these things. Like, I don't know. And of course, it's like, I think it might be a tactic to kind of direct the attention to this case, because obviously everyone will look like, what the heck is going on? And then, of course, they can withdraw attention from the really important things with that. But that was like still having a huge echo and feedback on Facebook. So
yeah, it's a diversion tactic.
Definitely. So just so you know, if you practice yoga, you are inviting demons in your life.
Yeah, what's that yoga guru thing called? Bikram or something like that?
Well, there's like several types.
No. The guy who kind of started the whole fucking yoga thing in the 70s or whatever, brought it here from India. But he was, I think, recently convicted of multiple counts of sexual kind of assaults, okay. I guess, or something like that. Yeah.
That leads us further than I thought. Jesus.
So, random.
Yeah, random facts from the world. Yep. So, yeah. After the random facts, I think we might play a nice song for Murdoch, who joined us.
Murdoch Mysteries.
Yes, Murdoch 2000. And this would be Mucky and Auf Wiedersehen Monty, Down for Keeps.
What an exquisite thing. Just an exquisite thing yourself. You made it.
Yeah. For a hobby, like. See, part of the cure to keep yourself busy doing things you enjoy. Like, for instance, I wanted to learn the drum and music. Yeah. Dr. Lennox got him to help me do it. I kicked it. One. I kicked it. Then one. I kicked it. One. Last time it was two. Then one. Three.
Put my foot down, and then I make her some love. I put my root down. I'm like, sweetie, I kicked it for keeps.
Maki and Auf Wiedersehen Monty wrote down for Neeps. And, well, how funny that I just mentioned the yoga demon topic. And, of course, Andrea, who has shown up on our Facebook comments, obviously knew what is it about, because, well, all Hungarians know at the moment. I think everyone's newsfeed is full of those memes.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how come that we didn't know each other, because she seems to be a 64 girl as well, a Hungarian one.
Well, I don't know.
Look at that. And yeah, it's like, it's surprising, because it's we have like just a few common friends, but yeah, that is very nice. So I'm so glad to see fellow 64 girls. It's always great. There are not that many of us yet, but yeah, that is why it's always great.
Indeed.
Yep. And well, how are we doing with this?
Almost
script?
there. I'm working on getting the random thingy going for requests. So you could request a random RKO ID.
Yeah, you could request an ID, which ends up being a song in the end when we translate.
Exactly.
So,
just trying to look at what the database structure is here and all of that. So, yeah, got it. Awesome.
you got it. So we
almost.
Okay. I will wait one more
I
song.
got the structure and all that. Now I just need to actually write the code.
Sounds great. So we will just wait one more song, and we might be able to try it. That
Indeed.
would be awesome. So then you can request probably a random number between 1 and 4,000 or something. I don't know.
Or something. Let's
Or
see what
something.
we have. 4,150. No, 6,080.
6,080?
Yes, that's
But
how
how
many.
is-
Yeah,
But you are working with Slay Radio's database right
Yeah,
now?
but it's the RKO ID as well. So
Oh,
that's,
okay. But in Slay Radio's database, there are albums as well. And
no. This is literally the if you hover over the latest release on RKO, you see a download link, and the latest one is 6081.
Okay, I
So
get that.
it is the local or the RKO IDs.
Okay, good to know.
Trust me on that.
Yeah, I trust you on that. So, okay, then we will test this function soon. And until then, Lord Evil's request was CZ Tunes and Asia Dreams.
You karate do yes or karate do no. You karate do gesso. Just like grip.
Martin Land is dancing in karate style in the living room kitchen.
How do you do that?
Obviously. Well, there is always something new with his dancing, so yep. And anyone can watch Martin Land dancing. I don't know why that Lund comes back to me, because probably we live in Sweden, and Lund is kind of very often used here as a city, or some people's name contain it. So yeah, it's a funny thing, but anyone can watch Martin Land even on YouTube, how he dances on some recordings, or visit the next year's events, namely X maybe, and Harrock Party.
I'll clear up the confusion here, because Martin Land actually asked on IRC about that. How come it's 6081, but on the side of remix.qued.org it says it's 4101 remixes, and that's due to the internal workings of RKO, which makes this whole process a little bit more fun. If you insert a remix into the database, it automatically adds a unique ID to it, and if you then remove something from the database, it doesn't re-index all of those. It keeps the numbers. So if you add 5 of them, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you remove number 3, it's still 1, 2, 4, 5.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's still 4 entries, but 1 is gone.
This is how it happened.
So in total, over the life span of RKO, there has been 6,081 uploads. And 4,101 are remaining.
Yeah, I wanted to say that is not 4,000, but wow, it's amazing. And in these 6,000 remixes, are the albums included? Because they're not available on RKO.
No,
okay.
Just RKO stuff.
Yeah, so now we are working with RKO's database.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. So now anyone who feels like having a random request can tell us a random number from 1 until 6,081. 81.
And there has been 1980, so we are in the 80s now. Deletions. It could be that, and it happens quite often actually, that someone uploads something to the RKO queue and goes, shit, I forgot, or could you please remove that entry? I need to re-upload because I fucked up or something. And that happens more often than you would think. I've done that a couple of times too.
I can imagine that. I mean, how great that...
and rejected ones I don't think show up either. So if there's an upload and then that never gets published, that gets removed from the database and put aside in Qued's own little archive.
Own little archive. So he keeps everything for himself. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, and he's generous that you can just remove the remixes. Try to do that with OC Remix. Probably you wouldn't
try to get anything published on OC Remix.
Yeah, it's like, I think it was like December when Yes, it was last December. It's going to be 1 year now since... they haven't reacted anything. So I don't know how much time it needs, but I really cannot imagine what takes so long. So yeah. Well, anyone has their own processes anyway, so who am I to judge here, right? So Magnar is also with us. Hi, Magnar.
Hello, Magnar.
And your mom joined again. Hi,
hello, Mom.
I'm not sure if she will understand this, but... me and even my colleagues love the poncho that she did for the last Christmas, and I feel so cool when I'm wearing it. So I think it's amazing. And I even wanted to post a picture recently about it, but I kind of forgot. So yeah, maybe soon.
Maybe soon.
And you sent me an IRC message.
I did.
Ooh.
That's for ASDK.
Excellent. Okay, so...
I'll condense that down to one row instead of having several, because that's annoying. I just realized.
Ah, okay. So, no worries about that. I think we will open this random request line with remix 3333, which was my first test request. So, let's see how it goes. Marcus Holler and Moments of Everydayness. Wow, remix 3030.
3,333.
Yeah, I cannot count. Sorry. That turned out great. The random test request turned out great. So, yep, I already prepared the next one.
You did.
So how cool is that? And also we start to get other random requests. I see Elian is with us as well, and Madman joined us on Slay Radio channel. In case you haven't known, we have an IRC channel as well. So you can join the good old IRC if you've been doing that like around 2000s, but you don't do it anymore. So, yep, for your information, and especially for those who just recently joined us. So you can watch us on Facebook, on YouTube. You can listen to the audio stream on slayradio.org or slay.radio, right?
Indeedums.
Yes, and you can join on IRC on FNet network, so irc.fnet.org and Slay Radio channel. Hashtag Slay Radio.
Indeed. Hashtag.
Hashtag. Yeah, it's kind of odd because hashtag became a thing later on, like way later. And on the good old IRC, hashtags meant the channels.
Indeed. Yeah, they were way before Twitter.
Yeah, very much.
What's
so.
trending? Well, we don't have that concept on IRC.
Yeah, not really, no.
Whatever channel you're on is trending.
Yeah, and random facts. I ordered another box of clothes.
Oh, of course you did. There's a funny story, a bit of a random story. We were talking about that, and we had our usual discussion, well, do you really need all the... No, not really. Click. Thank you for your order.
Yep. I think it was even funnier when there was that moment, but...
Yeah, it was a kind of a perfect comedic timing on that one.
Yeah, exactly. And let's say that I made a discovery. I pretty much always had problem and issues with choosing pants because I have like irregular proportions down there. So I have short legs, I have wider, what is that under the knee? That in English, I don't know. Wider, that part of the leg.
Shit. What is it called?
Yeah, I'll look that up later on, never mind.
Not thighs, they are on the top.
Yeah,
okay.
The ones that the football
Below
players
the
use. Yeah, below the knees. The ones that football players tend to overuse, and they also kind of gain a little bit of that. Yeah, anyway, those things are making it extremely difficult to choose a proper pair of trousers, because those that would be good, they are like small, and then they are also weird in size, because randomly the same size has sometimes like 80 centimeters weight size, and then the next one with the same size is 70 centimeters. So it's like no logic behind, and it's like just the source of endless confusion for women. However,
it's not much better for men, especially tall men like myself. Either they are too wide in the waist and proper length on the legs, or they are perfect around the waist, but like 10 centimeters too short.
Yeah, exactly. I have the other way around, 10 centimeters too long. So yeah.
Well, you can cut yours off at least.
That is true.
I can't stretch mine 10 centimeters.
That is very true. Good that Boss Wank is not here.
Pant talk.
Stretch your 10 centimeters. Anyway.
Welcome to Pant Talk.
Anyway, there is a local to Sweden second-hand shop. It's a huge one. They deal with like 4,000 products or 400,000 products on Tradera or so. And they are amazing because they measure all those things. And I noticed that even if I order, if I'm going into a shop and I try to kind of try on pants, I will never have the waist size, so therefore I'm trying on completely unnecessary pieces, and this is why I end up with 3 pairs out of 20. This is my usual statistics when I go to buy pants. And I figured out that since they measure the waist size at this shop, I ordered 9 of them. And now, right after the show, I'm going to test my kind of intuitions and kind of vision that what the photos gave away and whatnot. And if most of them will fit, I think I will just do this in the future, because I just don't have like hours to spend like in shops completely unnecessarily. I would rather spend those hours here at home choosing proper pants without trying on and the hassle, all of them, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that concept, really.
Well, as long as you can get rid of the ones that don't fit, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for those selfie bags. But yes, I think they will send me the bags and then I can send them back, those that are not fit, and then they can sell them again.
Those that are not fit?
They're not a perfect fit, yes. Or, well, anything. I can say perfect fit because I have a lot of stuff, so I can just easily give away those that are not perfect fit, I guess. And I have to. It's not that I can, I really have to. Because otherwise we might have to buy another furniture to store things in, and I don't want that, so there has to be a limit to everything. How about carrying on with...
Madman seems to think that we are in a fight. I don't know where he gets that from. All I see is him writing nonsense on the shout box. I don't know how that counts as a fight. Well, not right now, but he's saying that on IRC now.
Okay. Well, I don't really get what's going on there, but never mind.
And also, yes, 48. I am old.
Who was asking that?
Not asking.
Saying. Yeah. Aw. Look at Slagon. He doesn't look old. Not in my eyes, at least.
No, I don't give a shit.
I don't mind your opinion about that.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Oh, well. So... we had a request from ASDK, a random request, like a real random request, right? Was it? Yes, ASDK.
Yeah. 5233, was it?
Yeah, it was 5,233, and this would be NAFTA and ACE2. So how did you like this random choice?
Not very much. Beep, 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 beep,
We will.
beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, but it's a nice surprise. Well, luckily for you, the next song is not that much of a random request as the previous two, but, well, I will get back to this later. On the channel, people are discussing what is old and what is not old. And, yeah, I should add here that I'm definitely having gray hairs already. And I have them, like, since I turned... like 29 or
Since
something.
you turned old.
Since I turned old, yes. No, actually, I started to have gray hairs around 2010. That means 9 years ago. That means 27. Yeah. So, yeah, no worries. There is always hair color stuff is always available for everyone. I think it's not only for women. Men can use it as well if they feel like it. But then again, on men, for some reason, it looks way more appealing, in my opinion, when they have gray hair. So I don't know.
In my 30s, I sometimes colored my hair black, and my friends, instead of calling me Slagon, called me Slutgon, because it sounded more Slavic.
Yeah, but it's slut.
Yeah, well, that kind of worked well too in that regard. And Spawatch on Facebook says Ace2DK.
Ace2DK.
Yeah,
Ace goes to DK. Or
yeah,
Ace
that was requested by Ace DK. So Ace2DK.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, that was slow. I'm so sorry. You're right. Yeah, so incredible. And Martin was giving me a very nice compliment. I make everything shine that I wear. And I said, no, that is actually not true. It's like you see it that way because I pick the right clothes. Trust me on this. It's most of the things don't work. Don't.
You know how to pick them.
Yeah, I know. I train my eyes. I really enjoy it because
I strain my eyes.
Strained. Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's been years of experience in that because I always loved that way of self-expression, so to speak. And I think clothing is a way of self-expression. At least this is how I use it as well.
Speaking of which, this is one of the new Slay Radio t-shirts. It's very, very subtle. It's so subtle that
No one sees it now.
In this light, you can't actually see it. But there is a Slay Radio pattern on here. It's very good to kind of have on for like the office or something. It's not very much in your face or anything. Just
yeah, that makes
subtle.
sense. That makes sense. I didn't think of that, to be honest, when you ordered them, because I just had an opinion like, no, they won't work. I mean, they won't be visible at all. Well, they are barely visible. I guess that was the concept.
That was the point, yes. And I thought the grey one would work better, but actually this black one works much better than the grey one.
Yeah, surprise. Sometimes printing companies can surprise you a lot. So it's good to know the techniques a little bit, or at least it doesn't hurt, but yeah, you never can be sure about that. So we have a next request, which was made by Alien, and he says, could you two lovely people play Jonas' remix of Deflector, please?
Deflector!
Kisses and hugs from Denmark. Well,
hisses and gugs.
hisses and cugs.
Cags. Or gags.
Nah, I just replaced H and K, and I think hisses, definitely cats would understand that, so hisses and cugs. So yeah, Deflector from 2016 by me. Deflect Tour from 2016, Rock Party remix competition entry. Ended up being the second place, by the way, and Vincenzo helped me with the mastering and mixing part because I was shit at it. I'm still not really good with it, but
Nice.
yep. But,
Yeah. This t-shirt, I'm gonna switch over to my camera here, and I'm gonna show the grey version of that. See, there is the thingy pattern, blah blah blah, and yeah, I kind of think it looks kind of cool. It's very subtle, but yeah, nice.
Yeah, the point is that it looks from far away like you kind of hugged a white wall and the traces remained there on your breast.
I don't mind that.
It's fine. It looks nice. I was just trying to tease you.
Yeah, failed.
And by the way, I wanted to ask here that here I have Tractor in front of me, and there is also an ID in front of the songs here.
Yes, that's the Tractor internal ID. It's the same concept. Slay Radio has an internal ID as well. So to be able to link to the RKO stuff, I have a link table. So the RKO ID is in one column, and then the internal Slay Radio ID is in another column. So I know which one goes with which song.
Internal Slay Radio IT.
IT, yes.
Reminds me of internal IT, like we have an internal IT too at the
it's
company.
the Slay Radio IT department.
IT department, like one person IT department, but it's great. It works at least.
It works for now.
Yep, indeed. So I will play a game with you right now.
Oh, with me?
Yes, because you have to tell me a number. And right now I will use Tractor IDs as reference because we have Chris Kuta. That almost sounds like Kiskutya in Hungarian, and it means little dog, by the way. Chris Kuta requested a remix of Platoon.
Uh-huh.
And we have a few remixes of Platoon available, about 20 of them. And I thought that since the lowest ID is 131 and the highest ID is 4,330, I thought that you can say a random number and the closest ID
400.
to this. 400. I guess then it would be 519.
Oh.
Yeah, the closest.
A bit off, yeah.
Well, a bit off, but that is the closest.
I considered saying 500. That would have made it pretty spot on.
Okay, so that's nice because then, well, let's hope it will be a good Platoon version. It's Bisquan's Platoon.
I'm not sure I know this one.
Let's check it out. Well,
That was a bit of an abrupt ending. Almost as if I had made it.
that depends. Your Platoon version is not ending this abruptly, right?
No. Has a bit of a thing at the end. But my compo edits usually end pretty abruptly.
Yeah, about that we know. It was fairly recent experience. Martin.
And then I went the entirely opposite direction with Light Force and went on and on and on and on with the ending on that one.
Yes, but you had
It was
time
a
to
nice one.
finish it.
Yeah.
So that's a different one. That's a different one because, yeah, you didn't have all of a sudden kind of, I must end this right now because deadline thing.
Well, I did have a deadline because I wanted to finish it before we left. So,
Yeah, but you did a great job with it anyway. So,
well, thanks.
absolutely. And the thing is here that
Saken är...
Martin said, yes, I will be dancing and having a good time talking, boozing and releasing at Arok and X next year, but also at Revision, hopefully, and Bergen and our own meeting in Austria. That I don't recall that.
His own meeting with some people he knows in Austria.
Ah, right. Okay. All of a sudden, I started to be confused. And, oh, is there something I don't know of? So, yeah. You can definitely watch him dancing at all those events. And I really love his way of dancing. His way of dancing is very similar to mine, I think. That's why. So, yeah. And I love the dedication because it's always very nice.
Well, I kind of always thought that you dance a little bit like Phoebe runs.
That is another story to judge, but I'm not saying I'm a professional dancer.
Is there anyone who says that? Sorry.
No. No. But I like to
I'm
think...
not complaining, that's not the thing at all. I just find it funny.
No, I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. I like to think that I feel the music, but maybe others don't think that. Who knows? But at least I enjoy it. In the end of the day, this is what is the most important, I think. Anyway. Joni Aquarius had a not that random request, but you're gonna love it.
Oh, am I?
Yes, it's called Distraction. That's not the only reason why you're gonna love it. It's also Da Funk.
Oh,
Oh.
the funk is always good.
Even the artist name and the title are completely fitting your needs. So, yeah, he's always good.
Click, 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 click. Oh, you started.
I did.
Okay.
It's just Tractor
No.
that reacts so... Da Funk, almost Distraction and the New Beginning remix.
Nice one. It
Indeed.
is.
Yeah, he's always nice, so we can't really say anything bad about Da Funk because, well, most of his songs are really, really nice.
Indeed. Does anyone know what he does nowadays? Because it's been a while since he uploaded anything on RKO.
Yeah, he's away. And I think I have met him like once on an Aerok party before 2010 probably. So it's been a while as well.
2008 was the last one he uploaded himself.
Wow, okay. But definitely it's been definitely more than 10 years then.
Yes, 11.
11.
11.
No, but I think that he visited the party also at that time period, so it's not, it didn't happen afterwards, mostly when he was active.
Yeah, he was... No, that wasn't him. It was Moog who visited, was it Andreas or Ziphoid? It's Ziphoid, I think, on the 24-hour show that we did back in, 2006?
Wow.
Something like that.
24-hour show.
Yeah, we did
How
shifts.
many people were involved?
A bunch. We did like 3-hour shifts. So Mackie, Ziphoid, me, Boz. Who else was there? I can't remember now. I think Marcel might have done a shift as well. But I think many of us did 2 shifts during that period.
What a duty.
Yeah, it was fun.
Must have been.
Yeah.
But you must have been there like for the entire time, right? Because you had to support and check if everything works fine. Or were you sleeping as well?
Well, I was sleeping too.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, a technical difficulty happened. Where is Legon?
Yeah, well, I do have a mobile phone people can call.
If you wake up for the call.
Yeah, of course.
You never know.
But it wasn't needed. Most of the time it just works, and most of the people who did broadcasts had done a bunch already, so they kind of knew the quirks. Oh, Anna Black, I think, was doing one section as well.
Wow. Cool.
So, yeah, most of the people kind of knew all the quirks and whatnot, but I knew I needed to stay awake for Anna Black because I don't know how, but every time she went on air, she broke something. It's just something completely magic with the way she did things, because she broke things that were not breakable, basically, somehow. It's just magic.
She managed. Yeah, I know. I mean, if I say to a random computer, usually it gets frozen. And this is not a lie. This actually happens. So I don't dare to get too close to my colleagues' computers because, then anything can happen. But it's not like that with my own. So my own is kind of, they work like a charm. It's just, I don't know, random other computers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not all of us are that lucky. Anyway, we had a random request from Murdoch 2000, and since 1971, that was a great year indeed.
Indeed.
Without 1971, we wouldn't have Sligo now sitting here.
Indeed. 71 was a good year.
Yeah, and since there was no 1971 as an ID, we picked 1970, and
Which is Boz's year.
Aha, that's also a good year then.
Yes.
Nice. And this one, I think, I'm not sure if I heard it. I'm not sure if I remember this one. It's the author is called Tug Deeper, and it's The Last Ninja 2, The Basement Evil Mix. Dog is happy with the random choice next to
well,
his
that's good.
original first random request.
Yeah, that was quite nice, I thought.
Yeah, I think if we have a non-existent ID, so to speak, then we can just play the closest one to it.
Yeah.
Either up or down, I don't know, but
Yeah,
we can always check.
Up didn't exist, so we went down.
Tab64 posted a bunch of random letters onto the channel, and he says, it sure means something in your language. Well, here's the thing. Those are mostly consonants. And I don't... My language, my original language is not Slavic. It's Finno-Ugric. So we have more vowels. A little bit more.
Wow. Else.
Wow, else. How else? Vowels. So... Yeah, it's he was nice because he posted into the shout box yesterday a movie, and I guess
the Hungarian thing.
Yeah, exactly. He randomly found some Hungarian movie, and the funny thing was that my brother is very much into public transportation, and it was about the train rails, how people switched the rails for the trains, like in the early days. It was a past film from, like, I don't know, 1960, 50, very, very early on, probably. So I sent it to my brother. Thank you very much for that. Yep. And some random facts from November 21, which is this day. In 2004, Nintendo DS got released as a video game console on this day, by the way.
2004?
Yes, 2004.
Wow, that late. Okay.
Yeah, that late. That was a sort of late console. And also in 2002, NATO invited Bulgaria, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania, Slovakia, and Slovenia to become members. So, yeah. And interestingly enough, in 1992, starting November 21 and lasting several days, the largest tornado outbreak ever to occur in the US during November spawned over 100 tornadoes. I cannot even imagine that. I mean, it's like we don't have tornadoes here, right? So I never had to be afraid of that.
They even have a tornado alley over there.
That is so crazy. It's just completely... I don't know how to live like that. Like, it's if you live next to a volcano or whatnot, you should...
Yeah, ask the Pompeians.
Wow. You should be always ready to pack up your life and then just go away, or I don't know how this thing works, but
you have a storm cellar in the in case of the tornadoes and such.
Storm cellar, yeah, that makes sense. But then again, if the tornado is that strong that it destroys your complete house over the basement, maybe.
Yeah, but at least you're alive and you can rebuild.
Well, okay, good point. Always something to be happy about.
It's hard to rebuild if you're dead.
Oh, and Cat Poet found the longest Hungarian word. Megszentségteleníthetetlenségeskedéseitekért. This is how it sounds. Yeah, almost like Finnish. So it's not that bad. Yep, exactly, Cat Poet. That is the one. Or that is the one that we tend to say it. And in case you didn't know, November 21 is also False Confession Day, National Stuffing Day, Pumpkin Pie Day. I like that. Start to like it. World Hello Day. What? Hello World. I don't know what that is.
Is that a programming thing?
Yeah, we should look this up because I'm curious. And World Television Day in the United Nations. World Television Day. Oh my God, that's horrible. Who wants that? Who wants television nowadays? Okay, we want it because Netflix and all of those, but yeah, it's been a while since I had a registered cable television thing. You don't have it either, right?
No, I haven't had one for some 15 years or something.
Yeah, wow, yeah. I always went for the internet provider's internet-only offer, so I didn't want television either. And I don't regret at all. And we have LP Chip. Request random remix, but limit to a remix by LP Chip. Specifically limit to Druids 2 Enlightenment Mix Sid Overdrive.
That's very random.
That was so random. Yeah, but it's one of my random favorites from LP Chip. So
that certainly is random then.
Not that random. I really like this song. So
that's the random part.
That I like it?
Yes.
No. Druid 2 Enlightenment, Sid Overdrive, and Funk Mix by LP Chip. Lovely. It's always lovely to hear that.
Indeed.
So, World Hello Day is a secular holiday observed annually on November 21 to express that conflicts should be resolved through communication rather than the use of force. Well, that's a good thing, I guess.
I guess.
Participants verbally greet 10 people or more on that day as an expression of the importance of personal communication in preserving peace.
Yes, that is how you communicate with a computer. You write a hello world program.
now you sound like such a nerd. Like, this thing is about communication.
Yes.
Not with the computer.
What's wrong with communicating with the computer?
There's nothing wrong with communicating with the computer. This is what I do as well in most of the time of my day. But there are humans on this planet Earth as well. Exactly. And sometimes they like to communicate.
Yeah, weird people.
Yeah, it's good because then you can avoid some misunderstandings, you know? It's very useful.
Well, DJ Duck agrees.
That was a very nice imitation of DJ Duck's scratching. Oh my god. Scratching.
Scratching.
And people started to spell the longest words that they know after I said megszentségteleníthetetlenségeskedéseitekért. I'm not really sure if I will be able to do the finish. Probably you should do this, Legon. I0 posted it to the IRC channel.
Where?
Lento konesu. Lento konesui. What? Please do that. Just scroll up a little bit, not much. Do you see it? I will just paste it for you. That would be the easiest way. Yes, because I don't know.
There we are. There we go. Lentokone suihkuturbiinimoottori apumekaanikko aliupseerioppilas. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so it's what's it called? The learner, like a pupil or whatever, to a jet engine mechanic.
What? A pupil to be a jet engine mechanic?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is a wow. And what is that? P-case electronic microscopy. Electron microscope.
Where do you see that?
That's in the next line, almost the next one. Some electric microscope, I guess.
Oh, I don't know.
But it looks like it.
Oh, but officially it seems to be. Well, I can't read that.
And
I can't see the Swedish characters or Finnish in this case either, so I don't know which letter that is supposed to be because it's just a question mark. I should really fix my terminal at some point. These are my Swedish characters and that I just typed on IRC.
You just typed it on IRC?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Oh my goodness, that is bad.
Last line.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, that's
that
my Swedish characters.
Yeah.
When I typed them, and if I, for instance, copy what Martin Land said there, this is basically what I see. I don't know if you actually got the correct letters there.
No, I got your version of it. So yeah, bad for you, I guess.
Well, I don't mind. I don't care.
I know you don't, but every chief's word, the longest Dutch word I know. Hottentotten, tenten, traktoren, tent, stone, stellingen. Jesus Christ. But the Hottentotten part I really like. I think it sounds so great.
Hottentotten.
Yeah, he didn't enlighten me about the meaning yet, but... And then the second one, also another long word, is Autobahnventil Dolfo-SJ. Dolfo-SJ? Yeah, kind of works. I guess. And LP Chip enlightened you what I0 has written as the second one, just so you know. It's there. You can still try to read it.
Mikroskopi.
Once again?
Pyyhkäisy mikroskopi.
Pyyhkäisy. Pyyhkäisy.
Elektroni.
Mikroskopi. Yeah, it's such a cute.
I think it's one of those sweeping electron microscopes.
That's lovely. And it sounded sort of cute how you pronounce that P there. Okay, then let's not get too busy with this because we already did. And we have Dr. Achenlord or Lord, not really sure. But I think it's Dr. Achenlord. Hello, I would like to hear 7 Sins, Synth Sample 3, Get Busy Remix. Yep, here you go.
Yep.
Zelda. Hey. Okay then. Oh my God. Poor little thing. Okay. Yes, we entered the last. No, we will enter the last hour, like within 3 minutes, and that means that they start to get bored up there.
Mhm.
You can pretty much count on that every time we do the
you
show.
can set the fucking clock with them.
Yeah, exactly. They should wake us up, not the alarm clock.
Yeah, that would be
make
nicer.
more sense. Yeah. Tramping on the blanket. Right. Would be so much fun. Okay then. And she's not visible on the camera, I guess. Not at the moment.
Well, she kind of is on the overview camera, but it's a bit dark down there on the floor, so...
Yeah, is the
Oops.
case. What?
Yeah, no, my beard got caught in the...
Your
the thing.
beard got caught.
Yeah.
That big one. That long beard that you have.
Yeah,
My God.
that one.
Does notice some tails. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, she
kind of
has.
see the tail moving, but not much else.
Go there, Zelda. Go there.
Oh,
And my favorite position of hers is still the sort of hover cat when she completely is able to hide her legs under herself and she looks like a loaf of bread with a cat head. That is just so cute. Absolutely cute.
My cables. Little kitty.
Well, it's not that she is doing so much harm to them.
No, but over there.
Yeah.
With the switch and everything.
Well, she doesn't do harm to them either.
Well, if she switches that off, then yes.
Oh, yeah.
she certainly would.
Yeah, that wouldn't be that good.
No, because then the stream would die.
Oh.
The cameras dies, the stream to the video thingy dies, and to the relays dies.
And I just realized that even the stream even stopped by me. So I don't know. After a while, Facebook also tends to get it die for some reason. I don't know
why it does that. It's weird.
Yeah. But never mind. And yeah, HDK starts to be very happy because actually the next request is his request.
Oh.
Okay then. So, Mordy and Sweet. Mordy featuring Gibbs. Or Gibbs.
Jeeves?
Gibbs or Gibbs.
I don't know. Does he say Gibbs? Or
I said Gibbs.
Gibbs?
Yeah.
Gibbs? I'd say Gibbs.
Okay.
Let's settle for Gibbs.
Okay.
Blink, 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 blinky, blink, blink, blink.
Blink, blink.
Blink, blink, blinky, 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 blink, blink.
Haha. And
Haha.
our mentioned Boswank arrived.
Mentioned?
Mentioned
Oh, yeah, you mentioned
earlier.
him earlier, yeah. I forgot.
And I have companion on my chair as well.
Yes.
Hey.
I switched over to your camera before the song was
Mine?
over, actually.
Aw. So yeah, she's enjoying being close now. So it's fine. And she's purring in case you don't hear her. Not that loud though, because we have the heater on, so that
Yeah,
might...
why is that on still?
I don't know. Ask yourself. But then she jumped down.
Shouldn't be audible too loudly, at least,
Uh-huh.
from through the microphones. But yeah, I kind of forgot the dice and it's white noise, so I just blocked that out automatically.
Yeah, now all of a sudden the background gets like so silent and no
Yeah,
one
it's like,
understands what's going on. Yeah, that's not too good to use during a show.
No, not really.
Not too optimal. Neither
Not
the
really,
air
no.
conditioner up there, by the
No,
way.
I was supposed to switch it off when we started, but forgot.
Okay. Well, it happens.
It does.
And Boswank said, I come in peace.
Yeah, come
and then
on,
you
peas.
asked, come on, peace. Oh my.
Oh, come on, peas.
Oh, come on. My God. Okay, then. Boswank, if you are here, then you might have a request.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, of course he does. He started with Craig singing Chandelier, or perhaps Rhine and Mutants with a shout out to Leonie. Love
Hello,
you.
Leonie.
Hi. So, I think not much comment needed to this one. Rhine and Mutants, right?
Yeah, there's a bit of a comment in there.
Oh.
When he did the Blithe and Blend and Bizarre, he included mutants because he knew I love mutants.
Oh, it was because of you.
Yeah, and he included Skier 64 because he knows Boz loves that one.
Everyone could have a request.
Yeah.
That's so unfair that I wasn't around.
Yeah, it's unfair.
It's unfair. I feel it's totally unfair.
Fanfare for the unfair.
Yeah. Well, others could have more requests, I suppose. At least it's good for them. But
Good for them.
Mutants, Rhine. Oh, okay then, Zelda. shrine for
Mutant.
your request.
Yeah, it's
On
a
the
very, very,
album.
very nice one.
Yep, lovely. And sorry that I answered with the Slave Radio handle on Facebook, like in space language, but when I choose my name, then I have to reload all the comments as well. So it's an identity problem with Facebook. Facebook has an identity problem, not me, okay?
You have a random identity problem.
Random identity problem. Yes, exactly. And yes, Jason Parker, I got this t-shirt. Well, I bought this t-shirt at one of the AROC parties. I don't remember.
'cause she's a warrior, so she had to have a
I worry too
warrior
much.
t-shirt.
Yeah, I worry too much anyway. That is true, actually. But yeah, I try to fight with it sometimes.
Silly idiot.
Yeah. And Zelda is Puko's daughter, so Zelda was meowing here for a while. Now she disappeared again because she noticed we don't give a fuck yet about her. And yeah. But anyway. What we have here? We have CJ Warlock on the IRC as well. And
Hello, CJ.
And we also have Shetil, or we had Shetil for a while. I think he might be still with us, or yes, he is. He is on the IRC. So CJ Warlock requested Shetil with Last Ninja Remix Subtune 6 Extended Mix. And you tell me that I don't feel the rhythm. I take it as an offense.
I
from
didn't
now
say that.
on. Well,
I just said that you look like you remind me of Phoebe when she runs when you dance. That's all I said. I didn't say anything about you not feeling the rhythm. That's your interpretation of it.
okay, well, sorry. That was a nice request, CJ Warlock. Thank you very much. And thank you, Shetil, for doing this remix.
Indeed, very nice
Really
one.
love it. Absolutely. Why?
What?
Why one has garden work to do? I mean,
Yeah, hate
CJ
that
Warlock, that
fucking
is just...
thing.
Yeah, that is not something that I ever enjoy. But, well, sometimes things have to be done. Otherwise, I don't know.
What do you mean, CJ Warlock? It was top 64.
Nah.
Or
No, CJ Warlock says that I have garden work too, but not tomorrow. Gee.
yeah, but top 64 said. That he
Top
had
64 said
garden
it
work
too.
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So, my goodness, my condolences, guys. It's not something I really enjoy, especially not in such a weather. So,
Yeah, I have an apple tree I need to chop up into pieces.
oh, yeah, we still have that. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
The rest of
Been
it,
a while.
like the big trunk.
Well, yeah, maybe it's like it would be worth to chop up and just keep it for an apocalypse to kind of...
Yeah, the rest of the tree is in the garage. So
that's
why
cool.
not? And
Okay.
Bonswank says, Phoebe running when she dances. I see it now.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Now everyone will just associate this. And Slay Radio on Facebook as an entity started to speak so many languages. Sorry about that. I mean, it's like it's really a hassle to switch to my identity, as I said before. But also, Andrea, if you hear me, you should totally visit iRock Party next year if you haven't been ever, because it is a great 64 event happening in Oika at summer, and we will be there as well. And about 264 fanatics will be there, and there will be competitions and some live acts as well, and it will be awesome.
Indeed.
The guys will probably announce the date like a few months before, but
Hopefully.
yeah, all 64 fans.
And
Noted.
hopefully it won't clash with some other thing again.
Yeah, that I really, really hope so. So we'll probably try to make my point now. Like, as soon as we have the date, just announce it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was announced with a little bit of delay this year, I think.
Yeah, so it clashed with Data Storm.
Yep, exactly. We don't want to see that happening again, and probably we will leave alone the first weekend of August if the guys agree, at least.
Yeah, it's a bit unsure what will happen with Data Storm and Truck Stop Alaska over there, the party place that they've used for a number of years now.
But
Because they
now
are
it's...
rebuilding that area entirely.
Yeah, but now
building,
it's said that it will be demolished, right? It will be demolished, right?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, at some point it will be. But I'm unsure about the timeline.
Okay.
Because they're, like I said, building one of the, like, Scandinavia's highest tower or whatever the fuck it is over there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Of course. Well,
Karlatornet.
it
But
was
we can have Data Storm at the top floor of that tower.
well.
That would be nice.
with some pools and
Yeah, yeah,
cocktails and
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Billy Boy says,
Billy boy!
tell a story about feelings for the C64 and then play I Fell in Love with a Zoid. Oh, such a nice request. It's,
Feelings.
yeah.
What are those?
Well, I can... Oh. I can start. Definitely. I still remember very vividly once when I put my hands on the first 64 remixes ever, because for me that meant the way back to the SIDS and to start to love the chip music as it is, because before that I did not understand the beauty of it. So yeah, it happened on a New Year's Eve. The year turned 2003, and I got like 3 CDs full of C64 remixes from a friend after I started to listen to them. And I said to him, you should give this collection to me now. So this is how it happened. And after that, of course, I listened to the original hits as well.
Yeah, my first computer was a ZX Spectrum. Me and my friend both had one. And then he got 128 as a Christmas present. So yeah, I got my 64 shortly after that because, well, I had to, obviously. So yeah, we kind of started coding. Accidentally kind of fell into the machine code monitor in his 128 because we were resetting. We were playing Rupert and the Toymakers Party, and reset the game because we were going to play something new, and accidentally kind of fell into the machine code monitor on the 128 side. And I can't remember exactly how, but we kind of found some text from the game itself, from the main menu, and thought, oh, cool, let's change this. And thought, okay, we've done that. Okay, what should we play now? Didn't think more of it, and then we reset back to 64 mode, and it restarted the game. And our changes in the text were on the title screen of the game. We thought, ooh, we can program now. So yeah, that's how we both basically started programming. By accident, more or less. We did programming, but in BASIC on the ZX Spectrum. But yeah, there's a story for you.
Yeah, so lovely. Yeah, everyone has their own way. I also had a ZX Spectrum first, by the way. I started with that, my career at like 3 years old. Yep. So, yeah.
Madman, no, you can't misbehave all you want.
What's going on there again? Bang, bang. Yeah, click, click, bang, bang, everything. Yeah, never mind. It's not a requirement to make sense. Anyway, cuts and Zoids. I fell in love with a Zoid. We got so emotional.
Very, very nice.
Memories and all of that stuff.
Yeah, and ASTK posted a link to a post on Facebook regarding Truck Stop Alaska from September, and it's dead, Jim.
I mean, we knew that it will happen, but people on the audio stream, don't join and don't leave us, because there are 64 listeners there on the audio only streams. So we have YouTube and Facebook as well.
Leave and just,
exactly.
Stay, don't go. And if you're thinking of joining, don't. The internet is full, go away.
If you hear us, if you don't hear us, never mind. And interesting facts. Andrea, who joined us today, and I think she joined for the first time probably, or maybe she was around before, because looks like her last demo scene event was called Rage 98. That was the party that was happening right before my first demo scene event that I visited, like December. So in that sense, we kind of avoided each other.
Yeah, so a bit of a handover.
Yeah, exactly. So she left, I arrived, and then since then I'm basically trying to attend most of the Hungarian events that are happening. But before 98, there were at least 4 or 5 demo scene events per year, if not 6 in Hungary. So that was quite often. And it was kind of natural for the people. Nowadays, there are, averagely 2 right now. I think we can say that because the big parties, one multi-platform, one 8-bit. And, there is a demo show happening every year as well, like around November, December. So that's the demo show. That's one evening event. It's like 4 hours. And last time they also arranged some competition on that evening.
Yeah, but what do they do?
They play demos basically. So it's all about watching demos and having some competition. These are the most important things nowadays that are happening. And sometimes we had 2 multi-platform parties per year. It also happened.
In Gothenburg, we have demo beers. So kind of go to a pub, have some beers and watch demos.
That happens quite often. And we never went yet since we got invited. So we should probably at one point.
I've been to a bunch of them earlier.
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah.
Earlier. When you were on your own. Nowadays we got a little busy, and taking away evenings from the schedule is not an option for me at the moment, unfortunately. But
hopefully
we'll get there.
Hopefully I'll get done with that cinematic stuff by Sunday is the hope right now. So after that, kind of a weight will be lifted from the free time stuff. And I should have fixed that bot stuff as well for RC. I actually did reinstall a later version of the bot and started that up, but it still doesn't want to connect properly, so I kind of have an idea of what it might be, but haven't had time to look into it.
Yeah, there are reasons why we don't have the BitLife pictures out either yet. And all of that.
Jeez.
So, exactly. We have a few things that we will do at the point when I don't feel the weight on my shoulders either. Well, one project from the 2 has been finished, kind of. We will get there. That is for sure.
Next week we will have at least one new feature on the show. That will hopefully be quite fun to include.
And you don't tell us more now?
No. Tune in next week and you'll know.
Okay then. Why not? Well, we will be here for sure. And there's I0 listening, and he wants to hear Team Forsyth and Forsyth. Forsyth, right? Tell me that it's Forsyth.
I would say Forsyth, yeah.
Forsyth. And
Forsyth?
Forsyth.
Forsyth? Forsyth?
I feel like an idiot. Yeah.
Team Forsyth?
Team
What are
Forsyth.
you saying?
This seems so stupid. Never mind. Team Forsyth and Flyfest 737.
Forsyth?
Team Forsyth. I learned something again.
Team Forsyth.
Team Forsyth. Never mind. Yeah.
A lot of wind down tunes right now.
Yeah, but Martin just as he said that he really hopes that he will have an opportunity to dance at least one more time this evening. Yes, you will. I can guarantee you that, because now I see our schedule and now I see what's going to happen. So now I see the future.
You see the future.
Indeed, that's how it works.
So you're some sort of what's it called? Fortune teller.
Yeah, getting there. And I can't really decide, to be honest, if Madman loves us or hates us or what is going on his head, because it is just really a mystery to me. So,
I think it might be both.
Yeah. Well, that's the way how it is. In any ways, we are so sorry for both of them.
And we're so sorry and happy.
Yeah, indeed. And what to say? The next song. Poco arrived.
Yes.
And she announced herself. Oh, joy, hey. Hey.
Wonder if she is visible on the overview.
She is always
a little
visible
bit.
because she is our personal Pusheen.
A little bit at least.
Oh, okay then. Yes. And Madman says it's right. We have 10 minutes to go. And then after that we log off. So since we have 10 minutes to go, and I should say that we have 2 great songs lined up, I would start with the first one that is shorter, and it was Tab 64's request, and he said just that Slagon, Klopstylo, and Heart. Right. So he's hearting your track.
I did that too, yeah.
And that has also an abrupt ending.
Yes,
right?
it does.
Because it was a compo tune. So
was it?
Yeah, it was. You had 2 entries even, I think. No, you didn't? I think you did.
Oh yeah, that one and Bad Cat. Right.
Drunk Cat.
Drunk
not
Cat,
Bad
yes.
Cat. Yeah.
Which apparently is an Amiga thing.
Yeah, such a pity because it was really great.
I could upload it to Amiga Remix, but yeah.
But you should, because
point.
it's a nice track.
Yeah, at some point.
Anyway, Klopstylo, what is that? Toilet style or something. It translates to that because it was made by a Polish guy. Yeah, indeed. And the finishing is
Yeah,
important.
it sounds like someone is having a shit, which is appropriate apparently for that.
Yeah, definitely. I forgot what it translates to exactly, but it has to do something with toilet. So that's all that I remember of the song. And that the original synth was made by a Polish guy. Anyway, we arrived to the last song of the evening, it looks like.
Did we now?
Yeah, it very much looks like. And we have a few things before we say goodbye, I guess, because as you might know, you can always tune into Boss Radio for evening live shows, unless it's Thursday. But that's why he doesn't have a Thursday show, because that was the other way around. Actually, we started to have a Thursday show because it doesn't collide with Boss Radio schedule. So that is how it happens usually. So in case you want to hear good songs, not only nerdy, chirpy ones, then you can go to bossradio.com and listen to our brother station and its live shows. And obviously on Wednesdays, Boss and everyone else's schedule, you can just check under the schedule thing. And
I put it on the video stream as well.
Yeah, thank you
Sure,
for
it's
the
a bit
help.
Tiny text on there, but I think you see the show name and the date.
Yeah, indeed. You can always check it out yourself. And for now, we can say that next show will be the last show in November. So one show to go until winter really has come. So
well, November is kind of winter already.
Yeah, but technically it starts in December. So
what do you mean technically? Technically, it's I think autumn if the average temperature is below 10 degrees over a 24-hour period. I don't know how they define winter, but that is at least if, or rather the opposite, when it's over 10 degrees on average over a 24-hour period, that is